therapist. Never been to one of these meetings before. But I felt it was important for me to clear my schedule this morning that I don't agree to sunset the board. So that's it.
Where are you from?
I'm from Alabama originally. Just moved here from Florida 5 years ago, and I'm practicing in Wetumpka.
Okay.
So,
well, thank you.
But we need a board. So,
sure.
I'm against that. I feel like, it keeps clients safe. It holds us to our high standards that we should be held to. And
right.
So,
Senator Gudger, I think, wanted to try to maybe answer some of that.
Yeah, we're going to have a board for sure. And so, having said that, anyway, we're sunsetting a board and then reconstituting it. So we're going to have a board. It'll still be under national standards in the state that we already have. So you're not going to be without a board at all.
But the Alabama Board of Massage Therapy, is that completely going away, or?
The board as we know it today is going away. And I can talk a little bit about it if that's
Go ahead.
all right.
Yeah.
So you're going to have different appointments that are on that board. So you're going to have the governor have appointments, the pro tem having appointments in the Senate, the speaker having appointments in the lieutenant governor, and then you'll have two at large throughout. So you'll end up having a board. That will be, the board as we have now will be ending on this fiscal year, which is October 1st of this year. Mm-hmm. And then at that same time, you'll have a new board created on that same day and start a new board. So there won't be a lap in a board or oversight or anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't really know. You got. Okay. All right. Well, I don't really know what to say. I've never been to a board meeting, so.
Well, thank you for listening. Your participation here, I promise you, is welcome, and thank you for being here, taking time off work and coming down.
I'm Stephanie Dobbins. I'm from Birmingham. I am currently on the Board of Massage. That has been sunset. I would just like to bring it to the attention of everyone here that if and when we do go under the Secretary of State, if we would look at Georgia in and know that the wait times for investigations will be longer, and we won't have as quick a turnaround when it comes to our investigations.
Okay, thank you. Members, anybody else? Senator Gudger?
Speaking of investigations, the investigations through the new board will be turned into the local authorities, not just giving a fine and then letting them keep going. So this will be turned over to the local authorities anytime they do have a finding of any type of sexual offense or prostitution or human trafficking.
Okay.
She's referring to certain people that's actually in my district, which is how all of this started, but it's not how all this ended up. There's been different times where we've had sunset and they've come through, and we tried to give them a year to have talked multiple times to the executive director and the people that are in the field. It's not just us listening to one person or one small handful of people. It is what we think is the best thing to do for this board and how it's been handling everything from investigations to the practicing of this. And so as we go forward, I just wanted this Sunset Committee to know I'm still 100% thinking this is the right thing to do and going forward after really researching this and getting into it.
Can you, Senator Gudger, just to remind us, because, it's been back in the summer when we initially had some of these meetings, kind of some of the things that brought your attention to the board and the effort to reconstitute it and what you saw in that regard?
Part of that is just the human trafficking side of this and then coming in and then the fees that were coming in. So the main thing was, and they will, I believe, say the same thing, and everybody that's sitting there, is the human trafficking side of this. And if there was any sexual offenses that were done in the current board, their bylaws, I guess you would say, is that if they find something, they're going to get fined that particular location or that massage therapy a $10,000 fine. But what is odd to me is that it never was sent to the local authorities at all. So they just kept having this, and you can have somebody doing a sexual offense up to 3 times and still not turned in. And so we had a meeting with the AG's office, the investigation committee, the executive director, the people that were, what she was saying was some of the naysayers. And then from all that, we came out of that with, I thought, with an agreement this past time. After that, then that particular executive director, came after all of us at one point, and we started looking more into what they were saying on the investigation side. And this particular new board, number one, would be handled by somebody that is trusted. And then number two, they're going to be able to turn things over to the local authorities. And I think it's the best thing for the board as they go forward. And I know some of the people that are here disagree with me, but I'm 100% in favor of going forward.
What I heard you say in the past was that your concern was the safety, the regulation, absolute regulation of the industry, and the safety of those folks who may be caught in an awkward or bad position from a trafficking standpoint.
That's correct. And so, for example, there's a massage therapist that's in Coleman, Alabama. Okay, my hometown, honestly, is a mile from me. And you have different licenses. You have an establishment license and you have a massage therapist. The person has the license. This particular location has had some sexual offenses and been under investigation twice already. And they just got another license about 2 months ago. And so I've called and said, please don't give this place another license. There's been investigation by the police. Every time that happens, the person that owns it flees to Georgia, to Florida, somewhere else, and then somebody else comes in. And since it's under another name, they get the license. But what's happening is there's websites that you can look up on and see where, if somebody wanted a sexual massage, then that location is on that website. They don't care who runs it, but the licensing board, as it sees now, gives them another license because it's in somebody else's name. The establishment license stays where it is. That's one of the things that we corrected in this. If there's a sexual offense that is confirmed and is in violation, then that establishment can't have it again. It's going to end up being off of that website. And there's multiple websites I found about this anyway. So,
All right, thank you. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Just to reiterate something that Senator's speaking on there, this sunset was not about one incident in one community in your district. This was about the reports that we received from the public examiner of multiple significant issues that come forward multiple times and repeat themselves. So this is not about one incident in one location. This is the fact that those incidences of different significant issues repeated themselves and then created new ones. So it's not just about one thing.
thank you. That was just my example. You are correct, but it's about a lot of other stuff.
How will you add Senator Coleman Madison and Senator Stewart to the role?
And then
Kind of tell us what, in a broad sense, what the bill accomplishes.
Well, originally all it was we pulled over the most recent law dealing with massage therapists, and then we changed the board to basically sunset the board that was the existing board and put another one in effect as of hopefully June 1st. To get started, all the rules will stay in place and will be amended or repealed or whatever as that board gets on its feet. And then we just kind of cleaned up the statutes because they were dating back to 1996. So we just made them a little bit more easy to read, but didn't change anything substantially or substantively. And then we added last night and this morning, we added a few more cleanups, and that was what was taking so long. But generally, the board is intact, like, just a new board. We added some consumer members. We added a member who, an at-large member who is involved or has knowledge of sex trafficking, and just did some other pretty good things. This is still a draft because I hadn't had it proofed or edited, and I just wondered if there's any typos or anything that I made in there.
can I speak to that?
Yes, sure.
Having said that, this still would have to go through committee. Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, this still has to, if we approve this as a recommendation, we still have to vote on this on the floors of the House and the Senate. This would go through committee next week, I would imagine. Chairman, that's obviously up to you and the co-chair. And so during that time, this gives us a week to review this, bring this back up. We can make amendments just like we do on any other bill in committee before it goes to the floor. So this isn't the final that we're voting on today. This is just, like she said, a draft that we've finished. And then from that, we'll have time to amend. If you see anything that we need to amend, please bring it to our attention, and we're more than welcome to be looking at amendments from everyone.
Members,